Hey, Savvy Shippers, let me show you guys how to create a new shipment. So once you're logged in, you'll see the shipping tab on the left-hand side. We'll start here at the dashboard, go down to shipping. If you are creating them manually, you will go here and you will press new shipment. From here, the first thing that you want to do is define your starting point. So you can choose whether it's going to come from any one of your addresses. You have defaults that you can set up there in your address book. Same thing with ship to address. You can go into your address book and choose whatever addresses that you want there, or you can type in a new address. So I'll go ahead and just fill out a new address quickly here. Okay, so we filled out new customer information here. The customer is going to Philadelphia. When you come down here, so you have the ability to create a new address. You can save this to your address book by just selecting that here, or you can just make it a one-time thing. This option here, I have my own last mile shipping label. Now, sometimes when you sell products on marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy, they require you to use their last mile shipping label. And so that'll often be a USPS label or a domestic United States label. And so in that case, you can check this box and you can say, I have my own first last mile shipping label. It will ask you some information down below around that stuff, but it will allow you to do that. You have the option here to, I want to purchase a first mile shipping label as well. So that's for scenarios where you're not going to drop it off at a specific location, but you are going to need to ship something to our location to get this stuff done. And so here you'll pick, I want to select a first mile shipping label, and it'll ask you to fill out all the packages and all of that stuff here. So you can go through. I'm not going to do that for this case. That changes the situation. So I'm going to unselect this here. So say that you're going through a normal situation and you want to fill this out. You can fill out the customer order number optionally. You have some additional options that generally come with the carrier side of things. Okay. As you are shipping, you have some additional options that carriers often allow you to designate. So things like requesting a recipient signature or adding shipment insurance. So recipient signature is often required. Certain products that require like an ID, so overage stuff, so things like alcohol or cannabis. Other things, maybe just high value products, might request recipient signature, so you can do that. It adds a small fee in most cases from the carrier side of things, but that's where you can require that. Also, you can add shipment insurance coverage. So when you select that, you can choose the declared values. So all shipments come with $100 of shipping insurance by default with every single carrier. So your minimum coverage that you can set here is $101. And obviously you probably would insure it for $101 because 100 is probably good enough. But in this case, you're probably going to declare it for say $500, $1,000, whatever that ends up being. It gives you the insurance cost on the fly. The maximum declared value is $3,700 Canadian. That is just the maximum insurable limit right now. So if you have anything besides that, or a package that's worth more than that, you have to break it into separate shipments. If it's one item that's worth more than $3,700, unfortunately, the platform doesn't support that today. So maybe just reach out to our customer service and we might be able to help you manually with that one. But generally up to $3,700 is available in the platform. Down below, here's where you need to define the packages that will be being shipped. Pretty straightforward: weight, length, height, width. The weight is a minimum of 1. Actually, I think it's a minimum unit of 1 for all of these. You can also add from package preferences if you have that stuff set up. You can choose a pre-filled package. So you can sort of preload if you have certain box sizes that you use. So in this case, I've got a 12 by 12 by 12 box that weighs 20 pounds. I've added that in here. I can change this to 15 if I need to, but it saves you some time just sort of preloading that stuff. You can change it between inches and pounds and centimeters as needed, depending on your unit of measure and what information you have. So now down below, now I am shipping this from Canada to the United States. So as soon as I start doing the United States direction stuff, we start talking about product declaration and customs clearance. If you're doing domestic shipments, you are basically done pretty much around here, around the packages side of things, and then you'll be able to check out. So when you are doing customs clearance, you will need to choose and define and tell us how you plan and intend to clear this product. By default, we recommend Savvy Broker. Savvy Broker is our option, which uses a combination of different brokerage options, type 1, type 11, any additional ones that sort of become available over time. And we will use the best brokerage option behind the scenes for your products based on the specific HTS code, country of manufacturer, all of those things. And so that's what we recommend. You have additional options here. You can use your own broker. Some people clear that stuff. We ask you to upload proof of brokerage in those cases. If you have a link, you can do that as well. So say if you have a Google Drive link or Dropbox link or something like that, you can do that, or you can upload the PDF. Also, you have the choice to say recipient pays duties. And so this simplifies things a little bit, but this will limit you to being able to use a delivered duty unpaid service, so a DDU shipping service available from vendors like FedEx. But this will force the customer upon receipt to pay for the whatever the customs and the duties is. For certain use cases that works. We do not recommend it. It's not a great experience for the end user, but in some cases it's absolutely expected and common. So we'll go through Savvy Broker here. First thing you need to define is if the shipment has any media products, yes or no. That sort of defines different categories and things that we go to. When you're searching by name or SKU, you can add a new product if you need to, and here you'll have to define a SKU name as well as a few other pieces of information like value and country of manufacture. If you have that stuff preloaded in our product catalog, you can go ahead and select that from the drop down. Here, I'll pick this product. Oh, this one has a value of $5,000. So this is kind of a good example of a use case, is that if you have products that are worth over $2,500, they do require formal entry. And so you'll just have to break those up. So I'll just use a new product as the normal example. And so let's say this is just a $1,500 product. It can still be SKU 123. Here we go. And now down below, let's say I don't have the HTS code. Based on the product description, I'll just say this is actually a blue t-shirt. It's an expensive Swiss blue t-shirt. You can press get HTS code and our system will look this up. So now based on description and other information, it will recommend this stuff. If it has a few other options, it will show those here and you can choose from those options. So let's just go ahead and select yes. It'll fill that information out. Now, because this particular product requires manufacturer information, likely because it's part of some FTA or partner gov requirements, it'll ask you to fill in information as best you can. So maybe they are from Ontario and their address is 1234 Annie Street. It's from Canada. I'll say it's in Mississauga. No, not B. And we'll fill in the postal code. Great. So now everything should be filled out here. We're ready to go. Now you can press the checkout. So you actually have two options here. You can, at this point of the checkout, you can save and pay with other shipments. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, I probably set something wrong up here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's go save and pay with other shipments. Great. Okay, so now this will show up on your shipment listing page as just under the all open. It'll probably show up in some of the other sections as well. Yeah, so unpaid and stuff. But so you can do that. You can get an order to a certain point where you kind of save it as a draft. So I'll go in here and I will now edit the shipment, go checkout. There's also a checkout button on the listing page before. And so at this point, now it's taking all the product information and it's running all the different rates, okay? And when you look here, you get the option to filter based on different service levels, carriers if you want. And here you can choose drop off versus pickup. So drop off means that you are going to drop it off or get it to a ShipSavvy location, right? So you can either ship it to us or get it to us in some other way, drop it off by car or whatever. If you're using partner carrier, that means that you will use a carrier like Canada Post or Purelator or whoever the options might be to get the product from your location to us, where then we will relabel it and cross the border and do the middle mile work here, and then eventually hand it off in the US, in this case, to one of these carriers. And so when you choose partner carrier, you're going to drop it off at a Canada Post location or a Purelator location or whatever it is. When you pick ShipSavvy, you're going to get it to one of our locations. And in pretty much all these scenarios, you see the last mile options are pretty similar. We're going to cross the border with it. It's going to take 3 days, 2 to 7 days, 8 days, whatever these service levels are. We're going to hand it off to either USPS, and these are the costs that we're going to show you. And so it shows you here, drop off pickup, what location you need to drop it off at, and then the different costs. And so I'll go ahead and I'll pick this first option. And if I press pay now, it'll go through that process. And so here it will show you the shipping fee, the brokerage fee. So this is the cost to do the actual paperwork and the clearance. That fee changes based on the type and the product and stuff like that, but it usually ranges anywhere from $1 to $5. And then here you'll get the estimated duties and taxes. And so this is pass-through costs. This is what Customs and Border Patrol is assessing this particular shipment to cost in terms of duties and taxes. And so we collect that all right here. You can go ahead and you can complete payment. You can pay it against your deposit account. You can pay by credit card, whatever it ends up being. And then as soon as you complete your payment, you'll be taken to the label generation page and you'll be able to generate a label. And then as soon as you get that product to us, we will start working on the customs brokerage and clear that across. And that is how you create a shipment in ShipSavvy.